Hey friends, Michael Butler here. Have you thought about getting into a running program, training for a 5K, 15K, or even a marathon or half marathon? Well, I'm here to tell you my running story today. I'm 54 years old. I ran my first marathon in 2008, and there is a path to running marathons, and it's not for everyone. Some people love running, some people hate it, others never get around to it. So for whatever reason you're wanting to run, identify number one, why do you want to run? And what are your goals? Maybe you want to get some exercise, get off the couch, lose a little weight, get out there and, shed some pounds, gain some self-confidence. Or maybe you want to meet people at a running group. You just want to be social. I got to be honest with you, I don't enjoy running. I'm running my first ultra in May. I'm training for an ultra right now. That's 50 miles. Most people do an ultra 50 miles in one day. I'm doing mine over a 2-day period to draw attention to our nonprofit 1040 Impact. And day one, May 7th, I'm doing 10 miles. Day two, May 8th, I'm doing 40 miles. I've never ran 50 miles. I've never ran 40 miles. I've only ran 26 miles. And so it's going to be interesting. But I got to tell you my story of running. Growing up on the farm in Oklahoma, I was this kid that loved to run, and I joined my cross-country team. I enjoyed running on the farm. I enjoyed running in baseball. I enjoyed running in football, played all sports. And I wasn't that athletic, but it gave me an outlet for my energy and something to do. Even though I don't personally like running, I love the benefits of running. I run because of the benefits of running. At 54, the number one reason I run is for weight loss and health. To get my heart rate up and to set a goal for myself. I run for health. I run for the confidence and the feeling that I get, not only when I achieve a goal, but also the euphoria that you reach when you hit that goal. And, if you've ever experienced the second win phenomenon, having a second win is just amazing, and it's a great feeling. So I realized in 2008, 6 months before I turned 40, that one of the things on my bucket list was to run a marathon, and I hadn't done that yet, and I was running absolutely zero then. So I got off the couch, and I went out and ran a block, and was out of breath, and the next day I went out and ran a block in 2 mailboxes, and I was gasping for air, thinking I was going to die. And I turned to Google, and I typed in 2 things, running shoes and running groups. I found a local running group in my home of Tulsa, Oklahoma, called Fleet Feet, and I joined that group. And 6 months later, I was crossing the finish line to my first marathon, 26.2 miles. And all 4 of my sons got out of the viewing area and watched me run the last 3 miles, participated with me, running the last 3 miles with me, one of the greatest moments of my life, achieving that goal and making that happen. Wow, what a goal to achieve. But on those mornings when it was 30 degrees outside, 20 degrees outside at 5 a.m. on Saturday morning, I didn't feel like getting out of bed and running. So I joined the group. I paid money. I bought new running shoes. I paid money and turned my phone off. I paid money. I held myself accountable, and I showed up. And there was even a time I was out of town speaking. I couldn't do my long run with my training group, that I had to go to Gold's Gym and run in the media room and do 18 miles on the treadmill. But I couldn't have done it without a group. And the first thing I want you to do is go see a doctor, make sure it's okay for you to run, get checked out. You don't want to kill yourself. You don't want to have a heart attack. You don't want to go from 0 to 26 miles in the first week. It takes a year to train for a marathon. I should have given myself a year. I only gave myself 6 months. So I got shin splints. I couldn't run the half marathon with my running group, but I recovered from that and was able to come back and do a 5-hour marathon. My goal was sub 5. I did 5:05. I don't enjoy running at that moment. I said to myself, okay, I'm trained for the marathon. I'm in the best shape of my life. Should I keep training for the triathlon? And I checked with my friends that were runners, and they said it would take an extra 12 to 18 hours a week on top of what I was already training for the marathon. And I said, I run a business versus training. I don't have 20 hours of training that I can do. And so how could that have switched to my, damn it, hang on. I said, I'm running a business. I don't have an extra 20 hours a week to train for a triathlon, even though I would love to. I love those glory stories, right? Well, since starting a nonprofit and 3 years ago, 1040 Impact is rescuing kids and touching lives all over Asia, feeding, rescuing, and educating children on a daily basis. Right now, 348 children that we're feeding, clothing, and educating on a daily basis whom we've rescued from human trafficking. And to raise awareness and to raise funds, May, my 54th birthday is the second week of May, and so 1040 Impact is hosting all over the globe the first 1040 Impact Ultra Run, and you can learn more about it at freedomrun.org, freedomrun2023.org. You can learn all about it at freedomrun2023.org, and there literally are groups and organizations and schools and families all over the world that are running and walking on that day and raising funds to help our kids that we've rescued from human trafficking. Thank you for checking that out, and thank you for wanting to be a part. Several things you're going to want to consider as you start running. I said, go visit a doctor. The second thing you want to do is you're going to want to go out and get some new running shoes. That's the first thing I did when I realized that I'm going to start running. Is you need some good shoes. Now, I personally use New Balance. It's not about the brand, but I got to tell you, New Balance really works for me. And I'm not into tennis shoes that make political statements with their beliefs that are contrary to my beliefs. So New Balance and I really align, and they work really good on my feet. So you want to go get some good shoes, invest in shoes, because that's your foundation, that's your support, that's your structure. Set a goal for yourself. If you're going to run a marathon a year from now, join a running group, get you some good shoes, get fitted, and then start. First thing you want to do is start walking. So I was 40 pounds overweight, and last year when I started training for this ultra, I was 40 pounds overweight. So I went to see a medical doctor, and she got me on a program. She helped me lose 40 pounds, and through the holidays and different things, you go on a cruise. I gained a little bit of weight back, but I'm not worried about that now because 30 pounds have stayed off. And I do have some goals, some fitness goals leading up to the run in May of losing another 20 pounds and feeling great, being at my optimal weight. And get plenty of rest. You need plenty of rest. You need plenty of hydration throughout the day. And personally with me, I like getting up early. I like starting my day early and having my quiet time, having my reading time, my writing time, my meditation time. And then I go to the gym, and then I schedule my runs. So I schedule my runs throughout the week, and I'll do 3-4 miles one day. The next day I'll do 5 or 6 miles. And I actually use an app that takes me on a course training where one day I'm doing faster training, one day I'm doing slow running, the next day I'm doing intermittent fart leg type, run fast, walk, jog, changing up the speed. And one day I'm doing uphills, one day I'm doing sprints to get my legs in shape, to get my heart and my lungs and everything working together. One thing that I didn't do before is I didn't do enough speed training, and I didn't do enough strength training. And the other thing I didn't do before, and one reason I had the shin splints, is because I didn't walk enough. I didn't walk enough because Americans, we're sedentary. And in the industrialized world, most people are sitting at a computer all day, and then we go home, we go out to eat with friends or whatever, and we don't get a lot of exercise and aerobic fitness for our body like we did in generations past, where we walked everywhere, or most of us were agrarian and lived on farms and worked cattle, where we were on our feet all day and we were working. Now we've been sitting on our butts for the last 50, 60, 100 years, and it's affected us structurally and skeletally. I'm not a doctor, but get checked out. I do go and see a chiropractor, but I got to tell you, the biggest thing I did this time where I'm feeling better and I'm not having the shin splint issues is I'm going out there and I'm walking 10 miles in a day. I'm walking 12 or 14 miles in a day, and I'm doing intermittent jogging. And that's how I built up to being able to go out and run 10 or 12 miles a day, or like I'm going to do in May, run 40 miles at once. And so you have to build up to those things. You can't just do those overnight, because you will hurt your body. And my goal is not to hurt my body and be in bed for the next 2 weeks after I run my ultra. I want to be ready to go and recovered within just a couple of days. I can remember when I ran my first marathon in 08, literally being in pain for about a week to a week and a half, because you put so much pressure on your joints, on your bones. It's one thing to go out and run 12, 15, or even 18 miles, but to run 26 or to run 50 miles, it's a whole nother story. There's things that start happening that you've got to prepare for that I'll get into in future videos. For example, I didn't know that after 20 miles of running, if I don't have Band-Aids on my nipples are going to start bleeding, and that's going to be a distraction from the running. I'm not a sadist. I'm not a glutton for pain. I don't enjoy pain, which is one reason I don't enjoy running. But there are things like that you want to be prepared for, as far as your plenty of hydration, plenty of food, your goos, your gels, your supplements, and the things that you want to start doing and preparing for on your longer runs. And then consider what time of year you're running, what the weather's going to be like. Are you going to be sweating? How do you dress appropriately if you start out running and it's cold in the morning, and you want to be sure that you're prepared for the day. Starting my first marathon, it was 38, 36 degrees starting out, and it was 75, 80 degrees by the time I finished. How do you prepare for that? I'll give you some information and some helpful tips on that. The main thing is to have fun. The main thing is to be consistent. Another main thing is to don't be hard on yourself. If you miss a day, you can always make it up if you're far enough out in training from your event. So give yourself some grace. The other thing is, don't miss days. No matter how you feel, get out there and do it, but do give yourself some days off. Now, I just did something with the app where I just finished my 30th day of consistent running. And when I say consistent, it wasn't that I didn't run every day, but this last 30 days I ran every day, but some days I only ran 3 or 4 miles. So it wasn't like I was out there killing myself every day, because that's not healthy, because the body needs time to rest. And when I run at this stage, because I'm 3 months out, is I'm running slow, and then I'm not afraid to walk. I'll walk for a little bit if I need to catch my breath, or if I just need to make a phone call. Sometimes when you're out that long, for a couple hours, you need to make a phone call or check your email or something. So I'll stop and walk and do that. But as I get closer, I will do less and less walking and more and more running. So what questions do you have? Pop into the chat. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Hit that like button. Thank you very much. And subscribe and hit that bell so that every time we load a video, boom, you get notified. Thank you so much. What questions do you have? What stage of your journey are you on? This was my first medal I won in the Route 66 Marathon in November of 2008. That was exciting. And then this one, because I've moved a few times, this one represents all the 5Ks, 10Ks that I did, and that my sons did with me as well. My 2 oldest sons, Michael and Matt, were training with me at the time because they were in boxing, and we'd go out and run 5Ks and 10Ks. We even did one sprint triathlon, which was a blast together, and getting in shape and supporting one another. So find yourself a goal, find yourself a running buddy, find yourself a partner, get to a program. You can Google, you can watch my videos, watch other training videos out there, follow the hashtags of marathon, half marathon, ultra, see what others are doing for training. Don't take the extreme view. I say the older you are, you definitely don't want to take the extreme view, because you don't want to get injured. So set yourself some goals, have fun with it. I say the first thing you want to do is you want to go let the world know what your goal is. If your goal is to run a sub-4 marathon in the next year, then post that on your social media and join a running group, get you some good running shoes, and get out there and make it happen. Hold yourself accountable and give others permission to hold you accountable as well. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Let me know your questions. I want to comment.